Well, SoFi has ran up a lot faster than I thought. Here's how I'm managing my position. Yo, what is going on, premium chasers? I hope you're having a God blessed day today. Every single person that comments down below is going to get the full rolling playbook guide, a must read, because you need to know how to manage your positions when you're selling options. If you don't know how to manage your position selling options, you're literally losing money with your trades. So if you want that guide, drop a comment down below. I'll personally send it over to you. And while you're down there, do me the biggest favor of your day. It's free, fam. If I've provided some value to you, hit the like and subscribe button. Come on now. But guys, today we're going to be looking over my SoFi position that I opened up yesterday morning, my covered calls on SoFi, or single covered call on SoFi, and potentially rolling this position. So we're talking about rolling covered calls today. I'm going to walk you guys through my thought process on rolling covered calls. Let's go over the shoulder. So if you guys don't already know, quick little recap. And I like this. I hope you guys liking this sort of content. The only way I know what kind of content you guys like is by commenting, hey, I like this. Or if you like the actual video and it gets more views, right? I'm trying to change up some of the content here on the channel, but there's only one way I know how to do it, and that's how you guys telling me. But so far, I'm actually having a lot of fun kind of having this channel portfolio that we're starting with just at $5,000 and just highlighting different things in this portfolio, right? That's it, right? So, I deposited $5,000 in this, and we're just going to have some fun, right? We're just going to have some fun, right? So let's go over the shoulder. So if you don't know, yesterday, I purchased SoFi shares, 100 shares at open for $16.09 per share, right? $16.09. You see that right here on your screen. And then immediately after that, SoFi actually jumped up a bit. So I was able to do, I did the 16.5 calls, right? So I did a covered call. If you don't know what that is, I basically put my stocks on the line, right? Saying, hey, I'm willing to sell my 100 shares of SoFi, right? On July 3rd, right? Just a quick little weekly hit, right? So I'm really, really into running the SPY weekly wheel right now. So stay tuned if you want to see the cool results that we're going to be getting here, if any results. Who knows? Nothing's financial advice. I have no idea what I'm doing, right? So right here, SoFi calls for 16.5s. I love Fidelity so far, guys. I'm really enjoying my time here. So we had our covered call going, and we see SoFi has taken is pumping, right? It's pumping a bit right now. It's at 1642, currently trading at 1642, up another 2.5% today, right? It's just on an absolute tear, already well above its 2 and 300 day moving averages, blown past this top Bollinger Band. When are we gonna see a pullback here? I want to see some pullback here. Let's all put our amens in the comments so we can see a big pullback on SoFi. I love SoFi. I'm gonna continue to buy this thing. I mean, me personally, obviously not financial advice, dude on the internet, no idea what he's talking about. I just feel like this thing's gonna be at $20 before we know it. So I'm kind of just running the weeklies on this, and I'm going to see where it takes me here, okay? I'm just going to see where it takes me, all right? So first and foremost, obviously we are here and we have our position. What I love about this is with Fidelity. Obviously, you guys know I am Team Fidelity here because I passively earn on my cash secured put interest, right? You could see here my cash, right, is held in my money market right here, and I am earning interest on that. Fantastic. I'm not doing cash secured put yet for other reasons I mentioned yesterday. If you want to, I'm not going to reiterate the same crap. So I like that I can click into this, and now I have my just contract, right? I see some basic information about it, right? My total gain, my total loss, right? Can I buy to close this position? Can I roll this position? So I'm gonna assume you're kind of like a full-fledged beginner a little bit. I hope that's cool, right? Because I want this channel is all about education. It's not about copying trades, for you to be able to go out there and do stuff for yourself, okay? So first thing we're going to talk about is if we just wanted to buy to close this position, we just want to get out of this, and maybe that is a good move, right? Let's say I'm like, man, I really think SoFi, it's going to move. I don't want to sell my shares anymore. I'm scared, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click buy to close. So once I'm on here, right, you'll see that it all auto-populates here, right? I obviously blurred out my account number here, guys. This is one of the reasons that I'm struggling with this. I'm a one-man show, me and Steve, right? That's it. That's all that's here, and we're you know what I'm saying? We're not full-time traders or anything like that. So I'm editing my own videos. That's why you see me not really moving myself around when I should be. But what we're seeing here is obviously I have my 100 shares of SoFi owned in this account. It auto-populates that I want to buy to close because I said buy to close, right? I set my quantity to be 1, setting this to call, right? And my expiration here is obviously, right, July 3rd. This is my weekly covered call that I opened up yesterday. Now, what I can actually do, right, is close this position out. Well, what is that going to cost me, right? It's going to cost me money in this case, right? So if I go over here and I'm going to click market, right, it's costing me $44. Now, is it actually costing me $44? Well, let's see if you quick learners from yesterday's video. Remember, right, I collected $33 yesterday. Okay, I collected $33 yesterday of premium upfront from this contract. Like that's what I collected upfront. It was a little more than $33 because I remember we simplified the math a little bit. It was like $33.20 or something like that. I collected that. Now I would be losing, right, about $11 right here for me to close out this position, right? This would cost me money to close out this position. You could see estimated loss $11. All right. So what would I do this trade? Me, no, I would not. Me personally, right? Maybe for you, for me, I like to stick to plans. You guys know, once I set a plan, like I'm trying to be like that horse that's racing, right? Like I'm sticking to my plan, right? And like I'm just running, right? So for me, I would not do this. I would not personally do this trade because I don't want to lose $11 in a single day. For this trade, $11 is a lot of money, right? So I'm going to close this out, right? I just want to show you guys that's how you would buy to close at Fidelity. A lot of you in the community, in the Facebook group, join our Facebook group. All these calculators, everything is free. Get this stuff. It's in the Facebook group. But some of you guys are asking, like, hey, more tutorials on Fidelity. I'm learning this at the same time as you guys, right? I've been using Schwab for many, many years and Robinhood for many, many years. So I'm still getting acclimated here. But there's the best way to learn something faster, baby, is by teaching. So I'm happy that you guys are giving me your most valuable asset right now. But what we would do potentially is do a roll. Okay, now rolling. You've already rolled. Don't let anybody on YouTube tell you that it's that you haven't, okay? You've already rolled positions whether you like it or not. Rolling a position is very simple. It's simply you buying to close, right? Like let's say I bought to close that position, right? And I lost $11. I had to pay $11 for my cash to additional to close that position out. Well, right, if I then sell to open another covered call, right, on my shares, let's say it gives me like $30 more, right? Now that you just rolled, you literally just rolled. Like that is a roll. Maybe you did the same expiration date again, or maybe you pushed out that expiration date. Maybe you upped your strike price that you'd be willing to sell your 100 shares for. That's all rolling. Most of us have done. I would say 99% of us have rolled and you still don't understand rolling, right? Because it sounds complicated, right? But it's not, right? You're simply buying to close your position and then selling to open another one. Honestly, I've done it manually for a long time, right? But it's nice now, right, that we can just click a button in a lot of our brokerages and just select roll, right? Because that makes us a little bit lazier, and I like lazy. I'm not a full-time trader, right? So I'm going to click roll. So from here, you're seeing, again, everything kind of nicely auto-populates for me, right? Again, we're seeing the same exact thing that we saw, right, when we click the buy to close, right? Again, buy to close our owned contract, right? Our SoFi July 3rd, 16.5 calls, right? It's costing us, what did we say, around like the mid price of 40. We'll just, for the sake of this example, right? Now we are immediately selling to open another one. That's rolling, guys. It's not complicated. That's literally rolling. You could do it manually. You could click the roll button on your screen. Actually, somebody in our private community mentioned that they're doing the roll function with Schwab because they were always doing it manually. You've been doing this, right? Rolling is not. It is kind of. There's an art to it. I'm not going to say there's not. There is an art to it, but you've probably been rolling for a long time and you had no idea that that's what you were actually doing, right? So what we could do here is click sell to open. Now you're selecting your new expiration date or the same one, right? If I click July 3rd here again, and let's say I say, I don't know, for the sake of this example, I'll sell them at 16, right? Right here, I'm actually going to collect a credit, right? I'm actually going to collect a credit for this trade, right? So what we're actually doing here is going to select our midpoint. See, I'm still getting there. I'm all there. I'm just making sure I'm seeing everything cool. So I would actually collect $27.35 of credit if I did that. Now, would I do that? Not necessarily, because obviously SoFi is trading at 1641, right? If I was going to do it, I would start looking around at the other share prices. What if I go out another another week? What if I go out to July 11th here, right? And then I just do let's just say I'll keep the same strike, right? I'll keep the same strike, right? And then I'll just do my midpoint here of 21, right? I'd collect $20 of premium here additionally if I took this trade right now. Okay? Now, there's an art to this, right? There is an art and like a science and a bit of a madness to this, because this is where management experience comes into play. And then also, most importantly, what is your actual plan here, right? And you have to factor all of this stuff in, right? You have to factor all this stuff in, because at the end of the day, what did I say in yesterday's video? And I love doing these, right? Like in my video yesterday, I said, hey, I want to stick to the premium return that I got. Obviously, premium returns always vary, results vary, not financial advice. They always vary. This is just the situation that I'm seeing here and the trade that I got locked into. I got a 2% return on this trade, all right? That's where I want to be. Okay, that's where I want to be with this strategy that I went into play. So if I dip below that, I'm not going to want to take the trade, right? So what I would start doing, right, is start filling out this document in way more depth, right? I would start filling out this document, putting in other information, for example, like my next expiration date, how much credit I would get on that. If it doesn't make sense and I'm dropping below the ROI that I wanted on a weekly basis from selling the SoFi wheel, then I'm not doing it. What would I do then in that case? I'm letting the shares go if they get sold. Simple as that, guys. Simple as that. Because guess what? When Friday rolls around, right, next week, whatever SoFi, it might be at $17. I don't care. I locked in my trade. I got my money back, or I got my, I sold my shares. I got the money from my appreciation. I got the money from my premiums. And now I can go run the play again on either another opportunity, or what I can do is then jump into SoFi again if I want to. Some of you might be thinking, Pete, but you're missing out on tons of gains. I don't care. I literally don't care about fictitious games that you are not locking in. I'm simply locking in actual gains, right? And I can move on to a different opportunity. I have my buy and holds and whatever, and that's fine. I have the buy and holds. I don't do anything with that. I recommend 80% of your money be wrapped up in your buy and hold like Vanguard funds like I do, right? I got my weekly buys and I set, forget, and move on with my life, right? But when I'm in here, dude, I treat this like a business, guys. I know I beat that like a dead horse, but I treat this like a business. And my purpose is, did I get in and out and did I make money? If I didn't make money, then something went wrong. If I made money, I'm, trust me, sleeping like a baby, right? I'm sleeping like Noah, right? Actually, he ain't sleeping. He's waking up every hour, guys. I'm still running. I'm running on like, I don't even know how many hours of sleep. Any tips to the parents that have 3 kids? Please let me know. You can email me some advice if you have it. But let's talk about choosing the next expiration date if we plan to roll it, okay? And as well as strike prices. Oftentimes, I'm going to say this in a blanket statement, and I know it's going to be a blanket statement and it's not going to be the most accurate. You're usually, when you're rolling a position, and you're trying to make something happen, you're kind of just delaying the inevitable. You're oftentimes better suited just selling your shares and moving on to another opportunity, unless you are truly, truly a diehard believer in this stock and you're like, man, I will be really kicking myself if I sell those shares. If that's what you're thinking, most of the time you are better off not selling covered calls and shares. But we're back here on the option exchange. So obviously I'll be documenting what I'm actually going to do by next Friday. For me right now, I'm not going to roll this position. I don't think it's worth it. You know what I think is going to happen? Me personally, and listen, I'll probably be wrong. I think SoFi is going to have a big pullback. right? I think SoFi is going to have a big pullback because we blew past this top Bollinger Band. I think we're going to come down. I think my contract's going to expire worthless, right? And then as we've dropped hopefully down, I would love for it to drop to like towards that 200-day moving average a little bit more. I'll be buying more shares or running my cash secured puts. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for that update. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel and drop that comment right now. You're going to get the full rolling playbook, which is going to go into way more depth on rolling cash secured puts, covered calls, and the whole ARC option strategy on how that fits into it. Drop a comment down below. Also, if you're somebody that wants to join an incredible community of option sellers that do this day in and day out, share various trades, ideas, support each other, full trainings, courses, literally everything you need for your option selling journey. I invite you to check out Option Seller School. It'll be the first link in the description of today's video. 2 requirements. You are financially stable, right? You are not somebody on their last dollar. You are not a get-rich-quick seeker. If you need Lambos to stimulate your brain, this isn't for you, right? Number 2, you're not toxic, right? If you're already still in this video and you probably resonate with me in some way, shape, or form, like you like the way I talk, you like the way I teach, fantastic. We probably could, get a round of golf together, right? And be able to have great conversations. That's who I want in this community. I consider these people my friends. It's a very small group of investors all supporting one another in our option selling journey. So if you're interested to learn more about that invite-only community, click the link down below in the description of today's video. Guys, remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.